Okay, so for foundation today I'm going to use MAC's Pro Longwear in NC15. I'm sure you guys can hear my crazy dogs barking outside, which, sorry! I love MAC Pro Longwear because it does just that, it stays on. And I find it to be a relatively full coverage, so it has been my long-standing favorite foundation for quite some time. I just absolutely love it, and it's perfect. My skin's combination, so it's perfect if you've got dry skin, it's perfect if you've got oily skin. It's just, oh, such a good foundation. I'm going to be using the MAC Pro Longwear Conceal Palette. This is in light, and I will be first starting off with the pink just to kind of correct what's going on under my eyes. So I'm going to make a V. And I had already put moisturizer on my eyes prior to putting this on, because the thing with creamy concealers is they do dry very fast and they can get extremely cakey. So you should put some kind of moisturizer on under your eye before putting like any creamy concealer, just so you know it doesn't cake on you later on, because that's never the look you want. And although I was using my brush, I decided apparently I was going to switch up and start using my finger. So I was using the Sigma Concealer F70 brush. Apparently I don't know what I want to use today. Okay, and then now that that's kind of corrected, I'm going to go over top with the NW20. Just to dab a little bit on there. And I have a warm undertone, so to correct you always want to use the opposite, so that's why I'm using something with a cool base instead for NW20. Kind of correct my face a little bit. Again with the NW20. Which I think I'm good. My powder, and for this I'm going to be using MAC's Mineralized, God, I'm using a lot of MAC today, MAC's Mineralized powder, and I'm going to use this no-name brush. This is a brush I brought from the bag, like back when I first started using makeup, but I love, it's the only brush that has survived since then, but it's such a great little brush, so I'm going to use this one. And, sorry, and this is in light, I don't know if I said that, so I'm just going to pat it on. I love this foundation, this powder, I think it's great. And the reason I'm patting it on is because I put a creamy concealer on top of my foundation. I don't want to move it around too much. So that's why I'm patting it on. We're going to move on to my brows. So again, I use my Faithful Annabelle brow pencil. Although it's getting a wee bit on the small side, I'm needing to replace it soon. And for those of you that don't know what your brow shape is, I suggest taking some outrageous like eye color pencil and drawing on brows that you're looking to get, and then you can pluck around that. That's the easiest way to kind of find your shape. But if you guys want a tutorial on eyebrows, you can always let me know. Or some little tips and tricks I would recommend. But I love the Annabelle pencils. They're really inexpensive and they have this beautiful like waxiness to them. So while you're putting on the color, it really holds your eyebrow in place too, which is fantastic, and it stays put for the day. So I absolutely swear by these. I love them so much. So for this holiday tutorial, I'm actually going to use the Marc Jacobs Lolita palette. I love it so much, and it's got this really beautiful kind of sheen in it, which I think is perfect for the holidays. And but the sheen's not crazy, so because I think a lot of the time for work functions or family functions or things that are coming up over the holiday, you can go crazy sparkle, which all the power to you. It looks awesome, but I think sometimes a little bit more of a subdued sparkle is nice too. So this is the Lolita palette, and it's in my Marc Jacobs foundation review as well. So it is a lot of kind of taupey browns or some caramel browns in there, and there's this really sparkly color, or a lot of sparkle in the center, which is kind of spilled onto the palette. But it's a really, really beautiful palette. I really highly recommend it. It is more expensive, so if and I think in Canada it was like $72, which I know is crazy, but I've been using it religiously. Doing this tutorial does not mean you need to go buy the Marc Jacobs palette. You can use any colors that are like this by all means. This is just what I'm personally going to use today. So what I'm going to start off with is this color here, which unfortunately he doesn't name the colors individually, but it's sort of like this shimmery kind of pale tan color in this one. And what I'm going to do is take this and apply it, so I'm going to change brushes. I'm going to apply it all over my lid with the Sigma Eye Shading E55 brush. So I'm going to pat it all over. It's got this really subtle shimmer. I think it's really, really pretty. I'm going to put that all over. I'm going to use this kind of shimmery color at the end here. And I'm going to apply it in my crease and just above. There's a color to kind of blend out, and we'll define the crease a little bit after the fact. You only need a really little bit. These shadows are really pigmented, and again, you can go as light or dark as you'd like. I go too dark just because I want to do a bold lip and I have to go do a talk afterwards, so I want to look normal to the ladies that I'm chatting with. From there, I am going to take this darker color at the side here. It's sort of like a gray brown. And I'm going to tuck this into my crease and kind of blend it out. Oh, sorry, and I'm using the E65 blending brush from Sigma. It's got a nice little end to it, so instead of it being a pencil, it kind of fluffs in a little bit more. And pull it down in the corners, and then go back up in the crease. So it's just really blending over and over again to kind of get that nice soft look. And then the one thing I am going to take that's actually not from the Lolita palette, the Marc Jacobs Lolita palette, is the Half Baked color from the Naked palettes. They're in both of them, so it doesn't matter which Naked palette you have. But it's the Half Baked, which is the gold color. And I'm going to use that and pat it over top of the color I just applied on my lid, just to make it a little bit more bronzy. I'm going to take the Sigma E55 shading brush again, and I'm going to take this sparkle color, or the sparkles that are in here, and I'm going to also apply it on my lid just to give it a little bit more shimmer for the holidays. And I'm going to pull it down into the corner of my eye just a little bit. Faint amount of sparkle, but just enough shimmer without looking like you're going crazy. And again, you've already got some shimmer on underneath, so this just helps build the look a little bit without actually having to go get a glitter to glue onto your lid. Put it a little bit in the corner as well. From there, I'm going to take the Sigma, what am I using? E15 flat angle brush, and I'm going to take this darker color that I had in the crease. Or actually, no, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to take this sort of taupe color here, this light tan color, and I dip the brush in there and just drag it under my lower lash line. Just slightly, because I'm going to put a little bit of eyeliner in there. So this will just define it a little bit. Get some eyeliner. And for this one, I'm going to use Maybelline's Master Precise eyeliner, and I'm going to just do a black liner on the top of my lid, making the line a little bit thicker as we get to the outer corner. Give myself a teeny bit of a wing. Take a red lip liner. This is just Red by MAC. And I'm going to line my lips since I want to put on a red lip for the holidays. So I'm going to do that. I always like to line the outside first and then fill in, just so that way you've got your lines drawn first. And the reason you want to fill in your whole lip and not just a line is because your lipstick will always fade. As we know, lipstick only lasts for like 10-15 minutes depending on the brand. So the last thing you want is some rim to just appear around your mouth because it's really not attractive. What I'm going to be using for lipstick is my Yves Saint Laurent Rouge Volupte lipstick, and this is color 17, which I love. Put this over top. This is beautiful red. I love it. And the great thing about this is you don't need a lot of lipstick with the Rouge Volupte line. They're a very thick lipstick, so one swipe on all areas of your mouth and you're good to go, which is fantastic. So I love these. So now my lips are all on there. What I'm going to do is get into some of the bronzer and then come back to my eyes in just a sec. For bronzer, I'm going to use MAC's Matte Bronze, and which is this color. And I'm going to use it very, very lightly because I'm so fair, and I'm going to apply it with the Ita Kabuki brush from NARS, number 21. And I'm just going to get a little bit under my cheekbone. You don't really want it to come farther than your eye here, your bronzer, under your cheekbone, because it's just supposed to look like a little bit of shadowing, so you don't want to go too crazy. And especially for those pale gals like myself out there, you really want to be careful how much you apply for that reason. So I'm going to do that on both sides. And I like to build it because, again, I can't take it off once it's on, but I can control how much I put on at a time, so that's not too bad. And once I'm done with that brush, I'm going to take the Sigma powder blending brush, and I'm going to dip it into my bronzer again. And I'm just going to get it in my hairline a little bit just to frame the outside of my face, just to connect some of that bronzer that I put at the side. Gotta accept the fact that I'm very white right now, so I may need to start self-tanning again. Okay, now that the bronzer is on, we're moving on to blush. So for this blush, I think I'm going to use something that has a touch of it's like a ready bronzer or a ready pink, only because I've got a red lip on, so I kind of want to incorporate some of that red in there. So I'm going to use this blush by MAC. This is Sunbask, and it does have, you can see, like, although it's a pink, it's a brownie pink, so it'll help pull in some of the red that I've put on my lips. So I'm just going to take a little bit, again, I'm still going to use the same powder blending brush, and I'm going to just put some on the apples of my cheek and then blend into my hairline just a little bit. I think I want to darken my eye a little bit more. I'm going to take, what do I want to use? I'm actually going to use something from the Naked palette instead. I know we started off with the Lolita, but we're going to kind of go off trail here a little bit. So I'm going to take my Sigma Blending E25 brush, and I'm going to go into the Naked palette, and I'm going to take out, what is this, Buck that's here, sort of the darker brown color. It's a matte color because I don't want to go any more sheen. And I'm just going to put it into my crease just to deepen it a little bit more. And bring it out towards the end of my eyebrow there. And again, I'm just going to continue to blend it out. I just think it needs a little bit more of that bronzing effect. Okay, and then the last step for eyeliner, I'm going to take this black eye pencil from Lancome, and I'm just going to line my waterline. I'm going to take a smaller brush. You can use any brush, but for this one I'm going to be using the Smudge E21. And I'm just going to pull it down a little bit from the waterline into my lash line and do a smudge. Very last step is the mascara, and for this one I am going to use, what do I want to use? A very old mascara, or not an old mascara, it's not actually old, but a mascara that's been around for a long time, which is the L'Oreal Voluminous. which I adore. I'm not going to put falsies on only because I have lash extensions on, which I've talked to you guys about before. But for those of you that want to do false lashes on this look, you certainly can. I love Ardell's Demi Wispy False Lash, or the Ardell Wispy Lash is my most recent favorite before I put my extensions back on. But they are wonderful, so you can definitely add that to this look. I know this is an older mascara, but it is one of my favorites. It makes everything insanely long for lashes. As you can see, the lash extensions, especially when you put mascara on them, get like super long. So I definitely don't need any falsies. But like I said, you can definitely do that for sure. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit on the bottom. And I'm going to add some mascara on this side. Like, look at the difference. Like, it is insane, isn't it? Don't you think? I know a lot of people say you don't need to put mascara on lash extensions, but it just makes them that much longer, and I freaking love it. And that is my holiday look. So here is it completed. It's just a little bit of a bronzed eye. It's not too dark. And then you've got the fun red lip to go with it as well. And then of course you can add a little bit of bling or something kind of glamorous to, you know, dress it up for the evening, you know, wherever you may be going, whether it's a family function or something for work. A bold lip is just an easy thing to play with, and I love incorporating red into the holidays, of course, because red is such a great color for Christmas, and that's what we most of the time associate Christmas with, is the color of red, or not that what we associate it with, but as far as colors are concerned, we associate red with it. So a nice red lip is always nice to do, and especially if you want to do your eye like this during the day and then are going to something after work, putting a red lip is the easiest way to go from day to night and make yourself look all ready in case you have to dash from work or, you know, wherever you may be going. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I will have some upcoming ones on some other holiday stuff coming up, so stay tuned for that, and I will chat to all of you next Thursday. See you later.